Welcome back to another episode of the Dramatic Bible Reading Podcast. I'm your host, Bert Clemens. Well, today we'll be reading Jeremiah chapter 47 and chapter 48, Prophecy against Philistia, and finally in chapter 48, Prophecy against Moab. Now let's go to the reading. Jeremiah chapter 47. Prophecy against Philistia. That which came as the word of the Lord to Jeremiah the prophet concerning the Philistines, before Pharaoh conquered Gaza. Thus says the Lord, Behold, waters are going to rise from the north, and become an overflowing torrent, and overflow the land and all its fullness, the city and those who live in it. And the men will cry out, and every inhabitant of the land will wail, because of the noise of the galloping hoofs of his stallions, the turmoil of his chariots, and the rumbling of his wheels. The fathers have not turned back for their children because of the limpness of their hands, on account of the day that is coming to destroy all the Philistines, to cut off from Tyre and Sidon, and every ally that is left. The Lord is going to destroy the Philistines, the remnant of the coastland of Captor. Baldness have come upon Gaza. Ascalon has been ruined. O remnant of their valley, how long will you gash yourself? Ah, sword of the Lord, how long will you not be quiet? Withdraw into your sheath. Be at rest and stay still. How can it be quiet when the Lord has given it an order? Against Ascalon and against the seacoast, there he has assigned it. Jeremiah chapter 48, Prophecy against Moab. Concerning Moab, thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Woe to Nebo, for it has been destroyed. Nereathaim has been put to shame. It has been captured. The lofty stronghold has been put to shame and shattered. There is praise for Moab no longer. In Heshbon they have devised calamity against her. Come and let us cut her off from being a nation. You too, madmen, will be silenced. The sword will follow after you. The sound of an outcry of Horonim, devastation and great destruction. Moab is broken. Her little ones have sounded out a cry of distress. For by the accent of Luthman, they will ascend with continual weeping. For at the descent of Horonim, they have heard the anguish cry of destruction. Flee, save your lives, that you may be a juniper in the wilderness. For because of your trust in your own achievements and treasures, even you yourselves will be captured. And Shumas will go off into exile together with his priests and his princes. A destroyer will come to every city, so that no city will escape. The valley also will be ruined, and the plateau will be destroyed. As the Lord has said, give wings to Moab, for she will flee away, and her cities will become a desolation, without inhabitants in them. Cursed be the one who does the Lord's work negligently, and cursed be the one who restrains his sword from blood. Moab have been at ease since his youth. He has also been undisturbed, like wine on its dregs. And he has not been empty from vessel to vessel, nor has he gone into exile. Therefore he retains his favor, and his aroma has not changed. Therefore, behold, the days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will send to him those who tip vessels, and they will tip him over. and they will empty his vessels and shatter his jars. And Moab will be ashamed of Chemosh, as the house of Israel was ashamed of Bethel, their confidence. How can you say, we are mighty warriors, and men are valiant for battle? Moab have been destroyed, and men have gone up to his cities. His choicest young men have also gone down to the slaughter, declares the King, whose name is the Lord of hosts. The disaster of Moab will soon come, and his calamity has swiftly hastened. Mourn for him, all you who live around him, even all of you who know his name. Say, how has a mighty scepter been broken? A staff of splendor? Come down from your glory and sit on the parched ground, O daughter dwelling in Dibon, for the destroyer of Moab have come up against you. He has ruined your strongholds. Stand by the road and keep watch, O inhabitant of Aurora. Ask him who flees and her who escapes, and say, what has happened? Moab has been put to shame, for he has been shattered. Wail and cry out, declares the Arnon, that Moab had been destroyed. Judgment also come upon the plain, upon Koholam, Jazer, against Mephaz, against Dibon, Nebo, and Beth-Ibbalam, against Kiriatham, Beth-Gammon, and Beth-Meon, against Kerioth, Boriz, and all the cities of the land of Moab, far and near. The horn of Moab has been cut off and his arms broken, declares the Lord. Make him drunk, for he has become arrogant toward the Lord. So Moab will wallow in his vomit, and he will also become a laughingstock. Now was not Israel a laughingstock to you, or was he caught among thieves? Each time you speak about him, you shake your head in scorn. Leave the city and dwell among the crags, O inhabitants of Moab, and be like a dove that nests beyond the mouth of the chasm. We have heard the pride of Moab. He is very proud. Oh, his haughtiness, his pride, his arrogance, and his self-exaltation. I know his fury, declares the Lord, but it is futile. His idle boasting have accomplished nothing. Therefore I will wail for Moab. Even for all Moab will I cry out. I will mourn for the men of Kir-Heres, more than the weeping of Jazer. I will weep for you, O vine of Sibah. Your tender ends stretch across the seas. They reach to the sea of Jazer. Upon your summer fruits and grape harvest, the destroyer has fallen. So gladness and joy are taken away from the fruitful land, even from the land of Moab. And I have made the wine to cease from the wine presses. No one will tread them with shouting. The shouting will not be shouts of joy. From the outcry of Heshbon even to Eliah, even to Jahaz, they have raised their voice. From Zor even to Horonim, and to Eglah-Sheliah. For even the waters of Niram will become desolate. I will make an end of Moab, declares the Lord, the one who offers sacrifices on the high place, and the one who burns incense to his God. Therefore my heart wails for Moab like flutes. My heart also wails like flutes for the men of Kir-Heres. My heart also wails for flutes to the men of Kir-Heres. Therefore they have lost the abundance it produced. For every head is bald and every beard cut short. There are gashes on all the hands and sackcloth on the loins. On all the housetops of Moab and in its streets there is lamentation everywhere. For I have broken Moab like an undesirable vessel, declares the Lord. How shattered it is! how they have wailed, how Moab has turned his back. He is ashamed, so Moab will become a laughingstock and an object of terror to all around him. For thus says the Lord, behold, one will fly swiftly like an eagle, and spread out his wings against Moab. Kerioth has been captured, and the strongholds have been seized. So the hearts of the mighty men of Moab in that day will be like the heart of a woman in labor. Moab will be destroyed from being a people, because he has become arrogant towards the Lord. Terror, pit, and snare are coming upon you, O inhabitant of Moab, declares the Lord. The one who flees from the terror will fall into the pit, and the one who climbs out of the pit will be caught in the snare. For I shall bring upon her, even upon Moab, the year of their punishment, declares the Lord. In the shadow of Heshbon, the fugitives stand without strength, for a fire has gone forth from Heshbon, a flame from the midst of Shion, and it has devoured the forehead of Moab, and the scalps of the riotous revelers. Woe to you, Moab! The people of Chemosh have perished, for your sons have been taken away captive, and your daughters into captivity. Yet I will restore the fortunes of Moab in the later days, declares the Lord. And that is the end of Jeremiah chapter 47 and chapter 48. Well, that concludes another episode of the Dramatic Bible Reading Podcast. You know, the Bible tells us things that we're not supposed to put our trust in anything or anyone except for the Lord. He is a jealous God. Tell someone about this podcast, because you know faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Lord. Until next time, I'm your host, Bert Clemens.